All right, good morning, everyone. Month end is upon us. March went by so fast. I remember at the beginning we were talking about March Madness, March Madness. We're gonna hit these goals, and now we have a few days before month end. All right, so let's get serious and talk about the things that we need to do to make sure that we close and we have a good ending to our March, okay? So you guys know, first and foremost, you have to make sure that you book your week out. It's so important. You got to have a sense of urgency, okay? All right, Jen, you can go to the next one. Yes, yes. All right, month end recruiting mentality. So this is something that I needed to hear from myself, you all. Recruiting leads to everything. We get to recruit, right? Recruiting is the lifeblood of your business. Successful recruiting is the lifeblood of your business. Okay. So I like to think about the you guys know the rapper, well, the group Cash Money, when you think about recruiting, right? So Baby is the CEO. He recruited Lil Wayne, right? Lil Wayne recruited Nicki Minaj and Drake. And you guys know Lil Wayne wanted to get away from Cash Money because he wasn't making money off of the records that Nicki Minaj and Drake sold. Think about that. How incredible is that you can come in Primerica and recruit a Nicki Minaj and a Drake and get overrides and get massive appointments, get massive licenses, right? Get massive clients and build a humongous business. So we get to recruit. So we have to change our mindset about recruiting. A lot of the times we don't like the rejection of recruiting, right? When someone tells us no. So a lot of the times I say sticks and stones may break my bones, but no would never hurt me. I don't know what you guys say when someone says no to you or reject you, but it doesn't feel good, right? It does not feel good when these things happen. But always remember, we get to recruit. It's either recruit or work a job. I much rather recruit and get a no and hear someone else tell me no than tell my children no, right? So we get to recruit. Self-employed versus business building, right? A lot of my friends say they have a business, but they're self-employed. So what do we mean by business building? Business building means you have a team of people that work under you, right? And you're building a business. You're not by yourself. You're putting your teammates on your back. You're not a boss. You're a leader. You're putting them on your back and you're going to hit those goals. So business building is important. You have to be the leader of your team and yourself. It's month end. What are you going to do? What excuses are you not going to let hold you back? It doesn't matter what's happening, right? It's month end. Life doesn't stop because we have things going on in our lives, right? It's month end. We got to make things happen. And the great thing about month end is everything you've done up until this point, you can go back and go get it, whatever you've missed, right? You keep track of everything you're doing. That's the great thing about the business building part, because you can reach out to your teammates versus you being by yourself and you can go make it happen. Leverage the environment, month end energy. This is huge, right? What type of player, what type of energy are you going to have come month end? It's a mentality, right? I've written down all the apps that I've missed, all the recruits that I'm supposed to get. Now I got to make it happen before month end. So what is that energy you're going to have? Are you going to have that go get it mentality, or are you going to make excuses, right? You got to make it happen one way or another. We can't have every month go by and not make it happen. So you got to have that energy. Your energy has to be way up. Either you're going to close strong, finish strong, or you're going to fast start. Whatever you missed, you can start fast for April. Keep that in mind. So it's the energy, you all. It's a talk, it's a walk, it's an attitude, it's a mentality. Have the mentality of changing someone's life today. Recruit them, protect them, right? People are passing away, right? Mm-hmm. Daniel has a client who lost two friends in the past 2 weeks, my age, 43 years old, both passed away, no insurance. She sent me over 20 referrals in the past couple of days. I've picked up 3 apps in the past 3 days just from those people that she reached out to that want insurance, right? Have that mentality, closing someone today, helping someone today, recruiting them today. You got to have a sense of urgency. Jen?
Yep. And to just go off of what Shay was talking about as far as having the mentality of changing someone's life today, that goes with the standard and your belief in recruiting, guys. Because if you think about it, and I tell people this all the time, when people come in and they're like, do I have to recruit? And I go, absolutely not. But do you know why you should? well, look at this. Remember my personal story? What do you remember about me being able to do because of this company? And they'll say whatever they remember, but the main thing that's most important to me so far is that I was able to retire my mother off of my income. And I think about it and I go, listen, Mrs. New Recruit, if somebody did not have a standard or belief in recruiting me, do you think I would have been able to really retire my mom like I want to? Like I wanted to? No. So because they recruited me, they blessed me with the opportunity. They blessed my mother with her retirement because they gave me the opportunity and I took it and ran with it. So do you really want to take away somebody's mother's retirement by not recruiting them, by not giving them the opportunity? See, I gave you the opportunity and now you're running with it. So how selfish would it be for me to not give you the opportunity to say at least no, right? And if what's the worst thing they can say is no. But and there's a lot of things that you're going to hear in Primerica. My favorite is the number of attendance that you have showing up every week, every class that Shaq has, every Friday morning, every meeting that Shaq has, or if your RVP Shay has, if you're under her, or if I have Joe for Skill, every single meeting that you can be a part of, your attendance in that meeting is gonna your belief in recruiting is going to be determined by your size of your attendance. I know that Cheryl's belief in recruiting is going up because she's gone from an average of 3 people in attendance, 2 people in attendance. She's spiked at 10. Now she's back up at 7. So I know her belief is growing, right? And also post activity. Let me ask you guys, raise your hand because you guys we're all winners here, right? Right? Nobody's a loser here, right? All right, raise your hand for Ro. Give me an exercise real quick. Raise your hand if you ever thought to yourself, man, when will I ever find that person like me who's just as motivated as me, who will do just as much as me, who would be just as committed as me, who will listen to my coach like me, right? Who will maybe ask questions, not question the opportunity, but ask questions to try to be better like me. I've asked myself that too. Now, when you see the Telegram post, right? How many of you, raise your hand, get motivated by seeing other people kicking your butt and you're not doing anything, so it pushes you to do something a little bit more, right? Okay, me too. So about posting activity, in order to attract the person like you got to give them the opportunity to see what you're doing. If you're not posting your activity, how can you even figure out which of your teammates is like you? Because you're not even giving them you're not even giving yourself an opportunity to see who's competitive like that. And the competitive people are the ones that are going to fight for month end, right, Shay? The people that are competitive, they're going to be accountable. They want to get better. They're going to be coachable, but they can't see that in you if you don't post. You know what I mean? They don't see that in you if they don't see you interacting with your coach. People see me interacting with Shaq. If I'm in drill for skill and Shaq calls me, I'm going to pick right up. If Bruce calls me, I'm picking right up. And I'll leave myself right on. I won't even mute myself a lot of the times so people can hear me speaking to my coach. I respect my coach. That's why I believe, hopefully, for the most part, my team respects me, and I hope so. Oh, shout out to Miss Caroline. She got me some coach earrings. She's going to RVP in this year. Just joking. But yeah, but she will though. So leveraging your upline is so important, guys. And this is what I'm leaning into because every single time that I'm talking about our goals, it's not just about 30 by 30 in our team. It's 30 by 30 in our team to get Shaq to 100 by 100, right? That's what it is. Shaq has to get to $1 million a year in income, but in order for that to happen, we all in the hierarchy have to grow. And that starts with you guys posting your activity, speaking about Samir or Shaq or Shay, and every incentive it is, you talk about how you fought for Shay, you fought for Samir, you fought for Shaq, whoever it is your upline so that those people can fight for you. You talk up your upline. You never say anything about how your upline is hard on you or anything like that in a negative way. Yes, coaching hard, but not, feeling any type of in your feelings type of way, right? Some people they start, and I had a couple months ago, one of our teammates, they were trying to coach their guys, quote unquote, but they started talking about, me to those people and how tough I was. And now these people don't want to work, right? But now guess what? That person's attendance is way down, right? You don't want that. You want to make sure you respect your upline in a way where you want your team to respect you, right? You don't have to like your upline, but definitely respect them for what they've done, right? And sometimes, listen, we forget that this is not a boss-employee relationship. And this is something we have to tell, our new people here, because they come in thinking we're their boss. And even when we say we're not their boss, we're their coach, they still don't see it that way. So when we're hard on them, they don't see that it's from a place of love. But when they see you interacting with Shay or Samir or Shaq like that, they start getting it over time. But if they just see you and just hear from you, you can't be leveraging Shaq like that or whoever, your upline as your leader is. So post your activity, show your activity, showcase your activity with your coach. Master prospecting. When I still love prospecting in person, don't get me wrong, guys. I know that hopefully you guys are not out and about enormously and everybody's getting their vaccines, but master prospecting, when you prospect warm market especially, it's much easier for them to see you now and compare you now to you before, as opposed to prospecting code. Prospecting code is fine, but eventually your inventory has to grow exponentially, right? I talk about it, whether it's referrals for clients or referrals for recruits. Now in the field, Shay, I'm asking for referrals for recruits now. So once I'm done with the referrals for clients, now we're teaching our guys to ask for referrals and ask them in a way where we ask, who do you know that may need extra income, right? So we're doing it in a structured way where now we're mastering more market prospecting. So we don't have to keep sending out IG messages all the time, right? We know that that works sometimes, just not all the time. It's a way, it's not a way all the time. But once you master prospecting, watch your coach, watch your trainer as much as possible, whether your trainer is not doing a follow-up for you and it's a follow-up for somebody else. If that person doesn't make their follow-up for their potential recruit, you go ahead and make that. If you see it on Shay's calendar, go ahead and volunteer. Okay, Shay, can I watch that follow-up? Can I watch that one-on-one? Because what could it hurt you, right? And you know what? If you're the right person, you'll be like, dang, I wish this person was my person, right? I wish this person was my person. And then you start mastering the recruiting presentations and you start seeing Shay, you start seeing me and Shaq overcome those objections that you probably never heard before, or you never would think to overcome in that way. Shay?
Having that month-end urgency. A lot of the times, Jen, when you talk about lifting up your upline, I know for us back in the day, and even today, when we saw Shaq behind, that would push us. And I think you were at the trip when they missed Shaq for was it the $500,000 or $400,000 diamond? You remember that? And they missed him.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, the team that was there, we were so daggum mad, right? It catapulted us to the next diamond. I mean, we were looking around like, wait, hold up. Did they just forget our coach? And this was a monument. I mean, the diamond is about this big. And they give it to you, when you cross over 100,000, 200,000, 300, whatever it is. They missed Shaq. They ended up sending it to him after the trip, right? Even though it was Shaq and Iram's name, Shaq and Iram represents the standard hierarchy, period. So we was ready to fight. Like, Glenn, yo, what's up? You missed the diamond, right? So a lot of the times for myself, you guys, I think about times like that to have that urgency. You have to find something that moves you. You understand that? Like, what is it that clicks in your mind that moves you? Is it your family? Is it your bank account? Is it your children? Is it your spouse? Is it your situation? What is it that moves you to have that sense of urgency? I have a sense of urgency right now, right? I have a sense of urgency to close the month out strong. I need to close the month out strong. That's what I want to do. I need that because that is progression, and progression is the glue to happiness. When you progress, it makes yourself happy. You give yourself confidence. So you got to have that sense of urgency, because if you don't, what does it do? It makes you feel discouraged, uninspired. You don't feel like it. You start making excuses of why not, right? So you got to have that sense of urgency. What's in your pipeline? That goes back to going back to the first of the month in March, or maybe even February. What did you miss? What can you go back to? That's important. Jot it down and cross them off. Have that sense of urgency. When you call these people, tell a story of people passing, right? I have stories, right? There's a meme that Sharzandra posted on Instagram that a guy that sells life insurance, and they talk about when they're going to get life insurance tomorrow, next month, next Wednesday, next Friday. And then he's like, well, you don't have tomorrow. You don't have next Friday. And that's the truth. We got to have a sense of urgency. When you write these pipelines down, when you write your pipeline down, you go to everyone and you get personal, you get transparent. You have a sense of urgency and let them know, listen, this is important. I work for your survivors. This is what we have to do. Even if we can start you small, we can always come back and increase it later. So what does that pipeline look like? Who can you go back to that you missed? I'm jotting them down. There are several people that I can go back to that I missed. Qualifying at your level. Listen, you want to be a respectable district, division, regional leader, and RVP. This is so important. If we can't do the bare minimums, which is qualify at our level, we have to unlearn and relearn all over again. Find out what it is. I'm telling myself this, we need to be at 30 by 30,000. This is ridiculous. Shay, what can you do? Not the team, the speed of the team, the speed of the leader, right? What can I do to help my team be better, right? I need to start reaching out to people more, finding out what are they doing? What is your activity? How many appointments do you have? How many people do you have invited to the live Zoom? Tap in Thursday, Black Wealth. Who's on there? What are we going to do? Right? Because if we can't hit the bare minimums, guys, we got to do something else. We got to figure out what's happening, right? And sometimes we're a little bit insane because we do more of what's not working. No. We have to find the things that's working and become a respectable district, division, regional, and RVP. Personal cash goal, 50,000, you know what you're doing, 100,000, you're a pro. I always hear Bruce in my ear, right? Tia Shay, you're just not a pro yet. You're not 100,000, you're just not a pro yet. That burns my butt. We're about 7,000 from being a pro. That's important. Where are you at in your income goal? These are the things that you got to have on your mind. 50,000, 100,000. These are milestones, right? They say the first 50 is very challenging, right? So you got to have these personal cash goals. How much money did you make this week, right? How much did you do? In the West Coast, they work backwards. This is the income goal, then they work backwards to make that hit. So gotta keep that in mind. You hit 50,000, you know what you're doing. 100,000, you're a pro. Personal team goal, right? In order to hit a team goal, you got to have a personal goal. What are your personal goals? The bare minimum this month should be the 3 by 2,500, so you can get that full size iPad. I have an iPad, but I can use another one, right? 3 by 2,500. They are throwing iPads at us, you all. 3 by 2,500. That should be your bare minimum this month. 3 by 2,500. The company trip, Marco Island, JW Marriott. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be the first trip, I believe, since the pandemic. They are going to go over, above, and beyond. They are going to throw it all at us. You've got to compete. Jen and I were talking about this yesterday. The standards have been risen. The ties have raised. People are competing for this trip. It's not like it used to be 10 by 10 bare minimum. No, you got to go all the way in. I think, Jen, you fell off on target.
Yep, I fell off. Listen, when you guys compete for the trip, if I can interrupt, Shay.
No, go ahead.
When you guys compete for the trip, I'm telling you, number one, you want to compete for the trip, like Shay said, because there is nothing, I mean, nothing that will sell your spouse, that will sell your mother, that will sell your father, whoever you want to bring that's not in Primerica with you yet, like they're in like 100% there. There's nothing else that's going to sell that spouse more or partner that you want more or somebody that you want in your business more than a trip. I'm telling you, because when they see, listen, it's the top 1% of people in the company that they're sending. Out of 130, 40,000 licensed representatives, they're sending only 1,200, 1,300, 1,500 with a guest each. But the 1,500 that are winning, that's 1% of the company. 1%. So think about it. You win, which is not hard to win. You just have to know the thing, the incentives, right? And I'm going to get to that in a second because that's why I fell off. But I missed one incentive. You know what it was, Shay? I just looked at it yesterday. I was like, I know.
What was it?
It was one freaking direct recruit at the end of February. I missed the one direct recruit at the end of February, and it put me on the bubble literally for God knows how long now. I'm going crazy. Just one. So you got to hit the incentives, guys. But man, yeah, it's very important. Pay attention to the incentives. Look at where you are on the trip, because if you're not looking, you don't know what you're doing, right? And I really, honestly, guys, I know some of you guys are listening to this outside of Sheila, because Sheila already has the watch, but when you do 50K, something in your mind clicks over. It's just like you've written 10,000 at least once, right? You've gotten a bunch of max cases now, and you know what's qualified and what's worth your time and what's not. You start to time manage better. When all of that starts happening, that's when you're gonna hit 50,000. When you start reporting your numbers to your coach the day of, when your day is finished versus 3 days later, that's when you're gonna hit 50,000, right? anyways, I'm going off track, but I just wanted to get on Marco's Island real quick, Shay. Sorry.
Oh, no, 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 no. That's good because it's so important. It's so important. It's on you.
Yeah. So, oh, I wanted you to go through size it up because there's nobody better than you to talk about this.
Oh, the clock, the
Yes.
clock is ticking.
Yes.
You guys know I always use basketball as an analogy, and I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan, right? So like I'm really having to come to Jesus talk with myself to size up, what I need to do. And I really want to help, our team get this $100,000 power builder ring by month end. And it can absolutely happen, right? So I'm using adversity to motivate myself. Well, most people shut down, right? I've done that before, no longer because I have the tools. So I'm using different things to trick my own mind and rewire my own mind to size up my month end and understand what we need to do to click over and get this ring by month end. So what is it for you? What are you sizing up? What's in your mind? What can you do to have a sense of urgency and close and know the time, the clock is ticking, the time is clicking, it's clicking down. This is all we got. This is all we got, right? What is it? What is it? 4 days, Jen? 5 days?
5 days,
5 days. That's all we got. And
Yeah.
don't check out today and tomorrow, right? Because people check out on Saturday and Sunday, then you only have 3 days left. Don't do that, right? You got to go in. What is it for you? I don't know what it is for most people. What gets you going? Those things get, especially month end. I'm a month end player. I love month end. I play for month end because I remember being in a base shop just like Jen. I remember wanting to prove to my coach, hey, give me the ball. Give me the ball. And even if I don't make the shot, I'm going hard. You're going to see the effort that I put in to attempt to hit that shot. You understand that? That's important. It's all about progression, right? That's what it's about. Because when your coaches see you playing, they see your activity up, they know something is going to happen. So you got to size it up. That's what you have to do. You got to get in your own mind, get out your own way, and make things happen, right? The time is now. This is March Madness. It's March Madness. We got to make things happen, y'all. All right, Jan, it's on you.
Yeah, first quarter of the year is almost done, guys. And something I stole from Shay in a good way. She said one day training in person, we used to do in-person trainings. I miss it. She said there's a lot of time on the clock for those who work. There's a lot of time for those who work. There's a lot of time for those who work. There's a lot of time for those who work. 5 days is a lot of time for those who work. It's not a lot of time for those lazy bums. Okay, we're not lazy bums here. It's a lot of time for those who work. You can get a sale every single day if you really put your mind to it. And I'll never forget. This is kind of extreme, but one of my original trainer, Dustin, he brought this guest to op one day. It was years ago. I was like 1 month in, Shay, probably 6 months in. I don't know, but I was really new. I didn't understand much. And this guest, he was in sales, like legitimate, like knock on doors, hardcore sales. And he was talking about a month in for him. And he said,